say no dollar no etimi ati aba form say hwim wa hwe ase ankasa ama say Cedi ni mom na odi ne hene ya so na pokem say atofo se ne eye endi se aba mu fi di Cedi na ankasa ma say Cedi ne ye kese e say wukokro ma enjuma eye ganafo eto aye higher to say Cedi is the highest and can say dollars ni mom aye lowest now I was some way na e buy no e Dr. Mahama Baumia flag bearer at the NPP eko jina simpie so koka say to say Cedi na sisi ano wanyanta ba na wa tu fa wo ko obi eni be wo ko no enye NDC for magana for mbo NDC for abaso say omo no maye omo na che say omo feed Cedi na ma say wo grow dabi enye omo na so sisi an ye free NDC for no eba ni e ka say NDC for musimu na mu feed Cedi amagana for e ka say NDC for ba so ana ye Cedi na ekosoro ana dollars na si atete we so sisi amombra montre policy cropping a mu yisu ya Cedi na timi enya ahoden ko osoro ene ba omi aka asase me o si ye friend NDC for na anuma bakitikiti se grant me enya no ye emfama sa kweshinwe na ene o kan asase me na NDC for na MPP for a omototo bo no social media no so de na enya ize ye samija mfikra ebe kasa ho se kweshin ya yewura Dr. Mahama Baumia ebisai obetimi enya anu ye ama na pepepe efise NDC for NPP for mo betna akonya so Poly 8 years and 8 years dia na mo ye dollar no ene every 15 cedis na ehuri na akọ 17 ekoya ma edrewi ase no ze edru be 20 cedis crampo de na mutimi ye na ye timi aba ban mu de 4 months and 5 months ama dollar na timi aba forma ye wakojira be ka se ye kire ye free beside policy kra ye nya no ye ene Ghana for bi so toto boy Baumia kasa na after that no ene bi mu eba bonten mo chirechire mu kasisi ano se Ghana for bi menya mo ntiase wo dollars na esi abafu mama Cedi no etimi akosoro no they say me ba be chirechire me ne amanyonfo bi aba monten aba be chirechire mu ani nchire mu no what is wabe breaking it down ama more transparent ama ye hu send entia sisi an dollars ni etimi ati abafu mama Cedi ni mom enya ahoden e wo man mabusa ye kotie senia eye politician esi echechire mu efai
not to go into the politics of it. I mean, what we are observing, you can see leadership in here from the highest level. You can see painful choices that are manifesting in this that we are seeing. And I want to look at two main policies. Fiscal. There's a fiscal backing. If you look at what the economy has gone through in the last 3 years, the excess injection of liquidity into the economy from high expenditure. And let me put it this way. We've seen this government do within 5 months what we have been calling for the past 3.5 years. In fact, right from COVID.
Government has done within this 5-month period what you have been calling for.
Since COVID.
Okay.
Since COVID, we were saying that we need to be measured with our expenditure. We need to be cutting the wasteful spending so that we choose a certain gradual fiscal consolidation that will be less painful. We didn't do that. To make matters worse, 2022, Bank of Ghana moved in strongly with excess liquidity. That created inflationary pressures that pushed over 800,000 people into poverty. And then you see the 2024 election, you realize that the IMF supported program, practically, we missed all the targets. I think with the exception of GDP growth, that was higher than programmed, and then international reserves. But then when it comes to the main fiscal anchor for fiscal consolidation, we miss it. We're supposed to do 0.5% of GDP on primary surplus. We did a negative of more than 3%. So you will see that in the 2025, and I agree with Mr. Thomas, they've used the 2025 budget to more or less correct some of these imbalances to the extent that they had to restore the program back on track by moving from a negative primary surplus of more than 3% to a primary balance positive of 1.5% of GDP. You know what that means? What that means is that we've done this, but there's a cost, a trade-off. You see that the growth projection was slower than the fiscal, the outturn for 2024. So to a large extent, government is not spending as we have seen in the last couple of years. In nominal terms, we've shrunk expenditure by more than 10 billion cedis.
Wow.
Yeah, in nominal terms, compared to 2024. Then also the Minister of Finance, and we agree with them, the economy was overheated, we needed to cool it down. In a certain layman's sense, it's almost like putting the economy in a medically induced coma, right, just to cool it down. So the minister called it shock therapy. So the shock therapy reduced our gross financing needs for more than 60 billion cedis in 2024 to just around 44 billion. So government is not borrowing as much as we've been doing. And even the borrowing that they are doing, they are sweeping balances also from state-owned enterprises. So they are not accepting auctions on the market like before. That has caused the treasury bill rate to come down. So there's a certain direction towards that. So from the fiscal side, we have switched to what we call expenditure-based fiscal consolidation. Good news is good. In the short term, it's very good. So from the fiscal side, there's policy backing. Then see the complementarity as well, something we haven't seen in the time past in terms of coordination between the fiscal and the monetary. Okay, Addison didn't get exactly what the current governor is enjoying in terms of the coordination, fiscal and monetary.
In the normal, between him and the finance ministry.
Yes, in the normal sense, you expect that the fiscal will complement, the monetary will complement fiscal, they will complement each other. But what we've seen in the time past was that we were pursuing monetary policy as subordinate to fiscal because the fiscal indiscipline was high. Then in that case, there was no way you can deploy monetary policy effectively to achieve the desired outcome. Now, they are working together. That is being corrected. So you see sterilization. So here, spending is not optimal, but you also see from the monetary policy point of view that they are mopping up excess liquidity. We call that one sterilization. They've doubled that. Essentially, what you are doing is that the liquidity that in the system that ordinarily would chase foreign currency, you are what? Mopping it up. So then in that case, with improved supply, gold exports, cocoa, remittances, the upper hand is on the supply side. So with minimal intervention in the market, or even if you spill over, rather than accumulating it through your reserves, you spill over onto the market, it's likely to cause a strengthening of the local currency. So that is what we are seeing. So in a certain sense, there is coordination. In a certain sense, there is leadership. And I think this is not just accidental. From government point of view, that they want to stabilize the economy and all of that. That is very good.
Na se me bo ne tofa e wo nsem na se ncheche mu kakra ya ode ebesome na na se o share previous years tama aye president, the former president na Nana Danko Akufo-Addo ene na aban e wo so no de entia ne ma dollar no etimi ekosoro na entimi e ma from ene se na man na kasa no ye ka o man na no man ye spend too much to say ye discount too much unnecessary things bia na ye do man sika eye eno ka ho ana to say cedi no na de bia na e wo for me dollars ni mum e kosoro na now no comparing to the previous years and now no difference I wom and say now no aban no en spend e much money to say sika bebre na ni ho no ma omo e say no eno na ka ho a say omo share ni mema na ye hu say cedi no omo feedi no omo ma na aduane anopa awia enwumre a obetimi enya hoden na fe watu e de oman Ghana akogina akosi eye boshe asase ne so se de be $1 no so ebetimi aka na no atum no de wada form amaye tiatia no so eteni ensem a eye amanyoni ono so etimi editu da efa eye cedi ne dollars no wazi ano obia eheli His Excellency John Dramani Mahama alongside to forcing the say ano na say eno ni nchemu kakra nti say oman ne yenya ehun tete say oman ewo honom anasa say country say amanyofo anasa omo ye mpanyufo ewo man mo disca na anyhow any unnecessary spending and then yakoye kwan wa ha which ebiana sa kwan no kwa ya kwakoye na nye kwan be busy road bia but because of air politics ni adade ntino na ne yakoye we ocha na diska koye we ocha osini nyina ka ho bi nyina e ka ho bi tina dollars no time na akufo ado ne ba omia e wo so no na e koso a na wo hwiri ene step by step na ne ka no no free one ansa no akotuo ojina one na obetu ahwim no akosi 3 obetu ahwim no akosi 6 na tsa na dollars ni hwiri na sisi na dollars no ene within seconds bia na say wow check e wo social media na say wo check wo internet ne so within seconds bia no wo de ko search ko go na search dollar to cedi do be hu say one bia na sesan bam one bia utim say ko for e forma na e ko because enra na 11 cedis and then anope ye check na 10 cedis 45 pesos after they about 10 cedis 35 pesos just say every bia no dollar no kwa ana e ko for mema cedi no enya hoden e ko soro nti we ni nchemu kakra and amanyofo etim e de betu je fa cedi any dollar appreciation ya sisi ano o man mo bia eheli o mampanyi ene na pamfo tebusia bibi kakra e ka echi na se bibi foforo e wo hono ma ye de beba besom koso a ha e Pinas Plus subscribe e ma ye we like a comment na fa share so the next video no you'll be the first person to know. Thank you.